Welcome back for another segment regarding Mental Health Awareness Month, which is observed each May. I am so happy to be back in the virtual space. Thank you for tuning in. I don't take it lightly that you came to watch this live, whether live or later. I appreciate you. My name's Angela Beasley. This is my platform. We're going to get started soon. But as we wait for this live to begin, I want you to hit the share button. Give me some likes, give me some hearts. Let me know that you're feeling what is happening this month. The purpose of this live is to bring awareness to mental health matters. So number one, it increases awareness, reduces stigma, promote mental wellness, support access to care, and then empower individuals, and you will be empowered. Please don't be stingy. Love, like, share this live. It's going to be good. I can't wait for you to enjoy it. All right, we're about to get started. I'm so excited about today's conversation. But before we do, there's something I need you to do. I want you to share this live, whether you're watching live or later, and give us some hearts, give us some likes. Let us know you like what you are watching. We're getting ready to hop into today's conversation. But before we do, let me reintroduce myself. Angela Beasley is a licensed professional counselor, international presenter, singer, and creative visionary with a heart for ministry and healing. With experience spanning mental health, media, and public speaking, she empowers audiences through faith-based insight, trauma-informed care, and authentic storytelling. A former podcaster and global presenter, Angela uses her voice, both in speech and song, to inspire transformation, cultivate hope, and restore lives across cultures and communities. Derin Lindsey is the founder and president of For Black Men's Health Incorporated, a nonprofit empowering men of color to prioritize mental, physical, spiritual, and financial wellness through impactful events and real resources. A New Orleans-based creative, Derin launched his brand at 19 and has spent over 14 years building a reputation for dynamic graphic design, branding, and event production. He served more than 1,000 clients, produced more than 40 events, and worked with celebrities, small businesses, and nonprofits. In 2015, he began hosting networking events like Creatives Connect, themed socials, and launched a blog and clothing line celebrating Black New Orleans. After being diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure in 2021, Derin transformed his health journey into advocacy, creating wellness experiences like Black Men Yoga, Black Men Juice, and Black Men Pray to help men live healthier and more intentional lives. And my second guest, Vintage James, who is a book author, music consultant, fashion creator, creative director, leader of hospitality, and founder of Vintage House. We're going to introduce him a bit later, but stay tuned. Well, let's get started. Today I'm having a conversation with two impactful and amazing creatives who create spaces of wellness and health. Let's get started. Share this live. Well, hello and good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. And I thank you so much for being here with me. I do not take it lightly. You can be doing anything else. You could be scrolling on TikTok, creating content, doing whatever you're doing, even if you're watching on your job. Thank you for watching. Live or later, it's amazing to have people to follow and support you. So it is Mental Health Awareness Month, the month of May. We always celebrate mental health awareness. And as a mental health professional, I couldn't let this month go by without bringing awareness to different segments and different things and people who are doing great things in the community, bringing people together and promoting health and wellness. And I have two amazing guests today. I can't wait to introduce my first guest, a friend of mine. I've been knowing him for a while. He's been doing his thing, but he's been bringing awareness to the health and wellness and mental health space for a while. So I want to highlight what he's doing and have a conversation with him. But before we get into it, again, the purpose of this month of May is known for grace. The number 5 is the number of grace, but it's also known for mental health awareness. And it increases awareness by educating the public about mental health conditions, symptoms, and importance of early intervention, reduces stigma, challenging stereotypes, misconceptions, and discrimination associated with mental illness, promote mental wellness, which my two guests do, right? Encourage practices that support emotional, psychological, and social well-being, support access to care, advocate for improved mental health services, resources, and equitable access to treatment. And then last but not least, number 5, empower individuals, provide tools, stories, and support to help individuals manage their mental health and support others. So without further ado, you saw the intro to this amazing guest, Derin Lindsey. I'm going to bring him up and we're going to have an amazing conversation. Welcome, Derin.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me, Ange. Good to
Of
see you.
course. Good to see you. You are, bar none, one of the most amazing creatives I've encountered. I tell this story all the time, and I thank you for like partnering with me again. But the first time I met you, it was your first event, I believe. Was it the first event regarding
Probably,
graphics?
probably. What was it?
We
Was it?
we signed your first MacBook.
Yeah. So that was my very first event. Yeah, that was my 4-year business anniversary. That was
Wow.
10 years ago. Yeah,
I know. I've been knowing you for 10 years and
yeah,
I felt connected to you. I felt kindred spirits and I just really love the who that you are and I connected with you, right? And you've done so many great things in these 10 years that I've known you. Oh, it's been amazing. But
it's crazy.
oh, I know. So, I mean, you've put on more than 40 events, serviced more than 1,000 clients. You've been doing this since 19. So, you've been building this brand for a long time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What sparked your interest in graphic design and creative branding?
So, Ange, when I've always had an eye kind of for graphic design. And
Yeah.
it's funny, when I was in high school, after Katrina, I moved to St. Louis. I was taking this graphic design course, and it was the most difficult thing ever. And
Yeah.
so I've always had the desire to make something look a little bit better. So
Yeah.
I think my earliest design stages was I would take funeral programs and go home and recreate it.
Wow.
And so I think I
Wow.
always, I used to make Mother's Day cards back in the day. I think I've always had, an eye for creativity. But when I went to college at Alabama A&M, I wanted to do photography, but there was so many photographers on campus that I had to do graphic design. And so
Mm,
that's kind of
mm.
how I got into the graphic design lane.
That is so, so cool. I love
Mhm.
hearing stories like that, right? So, I mean, again, you've made so much impact and over the past I want to say 10, but even 14 years, because I met you 4 years in. So the past 14 years, you worked with 1,000+ clients, again, launched so many events, 40+, and I've been to a lot of them, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What has been some of your proudest moments in your journey?
Some of my proudest moments in my journey. I don't want to say I hate to choose this one over anything else, but last year I did a Black men yoga class. It was our third year anniversary, and it was so many Black men that came out to that event. And my
Wow.
heart was so overwhelmed because, when networking events, women buy tickets as soon as you drop the flyer, men buy tickets the day of, the morning of. So it's hard to gauge what the outcome would be. So I would say if I had to choose a wellness event, I would say that Black Men Yoga event. Um, and if I had to say a networking event, it would be the finale this year. This year I did Creators Connect finale, so that I could pivot 100% into this wellness space. So the event this year in January, we were snowed out, so I had to push the event back. I think
Yeah, yeah.
but it was a good moment for me. So yeah.
That's awesome. And I am proud to say that I attended that event. It was like a commemoration of all the amazing
Yeah.
networking events, all of the connections. You've helped many others connect and to elevate and to grow. So I said I had to be at this one for
Yeah.
sure.
I appreciate you for attending. I think even one time you worked the door for marketing and
I
mimosas too.
did. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. So
See,
I
I've been down
definitely
for the cause
appreciate
for
you.
a long time.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. So from Creatives Connect to your clothing lines that you started and even themed socials, you've always had this way of bringing people together, creating connections and community and incorporating culture. What drives you to keep creating new spaces and platforms?
Yeah, I think African Americans need to be celebrated and promoted. I think we
Mhm.
deserve a sacred space, and I think we deserve to be highlighted. And that's my, that's what drives me. I worked in corporate America for about 7 years, and I
Wow.
was the only Black male there.
Wow.
And it's interesting because I don't consider myself to be pro-Black or anything, but I do have lots of events and organizations with the word Black in it, and it's because I'm super passionate about Black people. I want us to be represented well. I want us to be branded well. I want us to be educated well. I want us to have just awesome, phenomenal resources and platforms, and I want it to be done in excellence. So that's what drives me.
That is beautiful.
Hmm.
And I do notice that trend, but we need people in spaces who focus on that. I think we've been marginalized and like pushed to the side for so long that it's
Hmm.
important that we create spaces like this. So thank you and kudos to you for doing that, right?
Thank you. Thank
For
you.
sure. So let's move along because this connects to, I think, everything that happens in life, it happens where we can either succumb or overcome and gain purpose from it, right?
Hmm.
So in 2021, you were diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure, and you're very public about your story. And thank you for your transparency. And it was like a life changing moment for you. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
How did that experience reshape your perspective personally and professionally?
You know, I think I was in denial for a while that I was even sick. And
Yeah.
even after being diagnosed, my mind was always on what's next.
Yeah.
Um, I would say, Andrew, in the beginning, I would do my dialysis treatment in 3, 4 hours,
Yeah.
and I would even go out afterwards. But now we're almost 4 years in this thing. I'd be tired after treatments.
Yeah.
So I would say that's how it's affecting my personal life. I'm on a machine 3 days a week. I don't get to travel as much because I have to be at dialysis on Monday, you know. So I have started taking 2-day, 3-day weekend trips. But even then, like I'm either skipping treatment or shortening the treatment. So it has impacted my life in that way. I just try to make the most of my off days, like Tuesdays and Thursdays and weekends. So that's how it affected my personal life. Professionally, I'll say it's given me so much purpose. It's given me new life.
Wow.
Um, Even though I'm tired and exhausted, a guy said the other day, if I could be transparent, inboxed me
Please.
the other day and said, "You're getting really small. You're getting really skinny." I was going to say you should stop juicing. And I wanted to cuss him out so bad, and I took a different approach to my response. But I said that to say, at first I thought it was easy to be vulnerable, but it's not always that. It takes a lot of courage and guts to be vulnerable like
Yes,
that.
indeed.
And so it personally, not personally, professionally, it's given me so much purpose. I have Holy Spirit wakes me up, Ange, at 5 o'clock with so many ideas concerning the nonprofit, so many ideas to get wealth and resources. Like I have an idea for a potential candle line. I have an idea for new merch. And so the goal is always to promote Black men and give them resources. But professionally, it has given me a lot of business ideas too. And if allowed later on, I may share one of the biggest things that's going to lead to my legacy, I'll say. So, yeah. So that's how it's affected or impacted my personal and professional life.
I absolutely love that. And first and foremost, again, I say thank you for your transparency. And I meant it earlier when I said it, because it's not easy. It's not easy to be on the forefront and to be forthcoming. They have people, I'm sure, who either support or who are watching on the sidelines who are like really gaining and gleaning from you. So it's not easy, but thank you for doing that, because you're touching and helping and elevating so many people's lives. For sure. So speaking of that, purpose, you've launched other endeavors that have impacted others. And out of the challenge that we just talked about, you launched wellness initiatives like Black Men Yoga, Black Men Juice, and Black Men Pray. What was the inspiration behind those specific activations?
Yeah, so I I want to be honest. I think maybe I've saw some yoga classes going on in LA. Like LA has a really big wellness community there. And I'm like, what if I could bring that here to New Orleans? So I've tried Magnolia Yoga Studios here in New Orleans a few times, hot yoga class. And I was like, I think men should try this. And so I came up with Black Men Yoga. I reached out to that yoga studio and saw if they had any Black men yoga teachers. And the owner recommended Andre, and Andre taught our class up until last year when he relocated to Austin. And so now we have a new teacher. His name is Josiah. And so that was Black Men Yoga. It was nice to just try that and see Black men try to stretch and do these different poses for the first time. So that was the thought process behind Black Men Yoga. Black Men Juice came about because I like the name Black Men, right? But Black Men Juice came about as a challenge. I don't know how I came across this girl. I don't know if I tried her juices before, but I just thought it would be a good activity that Black men could try at home. So maybe you can't afford a class, or maybe you don't have the time and bandwidth to get up and come to a class, but maybe we can do a campaign that you can do on your own terms at home throughout the day. And that's where Black Men Juice came from. Just incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your diet. And Black Men Pray came about one day. My business partner, Devontae Williford, said, yeah, we're targeting mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. And I'm like, no, we ain't targeting spiritual health, but we should target spiritual health. And then that's how I came up with Black Men Pray. Because essentially, our wellness has a lot to do with your physical and your mental. And if you're not taking care of your mental, a huge part of taking care of your mental is your faith. It's
Mhm.
therapy, it's religion. And so I'm like, I definitely want to incorporate Black Men Pray into that. And so that's how we ended up launching Black Men Pray in August of last year. Yeah.
Yes. And I remember you joined me for the affirmations challenge last year, and you announced that you were doing that, and I was just so happy to hear that,
Uh-huh.
because holistic healing,
Mhm.
oftentimes people only take care, if you, as you stated, one part of yourself, when we are multiple parts.
Yeah, yeah,
We are multiple parts. We have a body, we have a spirit or
yeah,
soul, and we have a mind. And oftentimes people just glamorize this body, but you're not
yeah,
your spirit
yeah,
or
yeah,
that mind.
yeah.
What does that mind look like?
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh. And
right.
even those who glamorize the spirit but don't take care of the physical, because that's important as well, you know. Yeah.
We don't want to look at some, oh, let me not go there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So why do you think it's especially important for Black men to have spaces dedicated to the holistic healing we're talking about, the physical?
Because it doesn't exist. Because it doesn't exist. We do not prioritize Black men. As a graphic
Oh,
designer, and I've done so many women empowerment flyers, so
wow.
many girl boss brunches, so many Mother's Day activations. How many Father's Day events I've done?
Ooh.
We rarely celebrate men. It seems like we do. It kind of feels like, oh, we do a little something, but we really don't celebrate
Wow.
Black men, not as often as we should. Even this organization, a friend of mine asked me, how was I able to get the handle for Black men? Because we're left out a lot. There's a lot of handles
Wow.
available for Black men online because either they'll start it and then they'll quit it. You know, there's pages that started in 2018
Hmm.
and never made another post ever since. So it's important because we deserve a sacred space. It doesn't exist. Example, last week in New Orleans, we had 10 Black men escape prison.
I
And I
know.
just wish that there were other resources around before they were, incarcerated or whatever the case may be, that existed to help their mental health, help their beliefs, their religion. You know, I just wish that there were more resources. And I remember I had a friend that said, anytime there's something that's missing and you want to see it in the earth, create it. And so that's what,
Ooh.
yeah, that's what
You
I'm
better.
doing.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
not you trying to shake me up. Let me
You
get
know,
back
you
together.
know how we do.
Wow. If there's anything missing in the earth,
Yeah,
create it.
created.
It's your purpose to birth that thing, to bring it forth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So, man, listen. I have a few more questions for you before we move on to the next creative. And thank you so much for the
For
gem,
sure. For
the
sure.
wisdom, and the insight that you're dropping right now. So, as a creative and a community builder, how have you seen mental health struggles show up both in yourself and in others around you?
Okay. How do I want to say this? It's a two-part answer. I would say learning to say no has been a struggle for me, but I think I'm doing a bit better at it. And also learning to not have to explain myself.
Ooh.
No means no. You know, I shouldn't have to say, oh, because I'm tired or because I had treatment or because. So I will say, in isolation, I think it's the enemy's goal to make us feel like we're alone, that we don't have anybody. That's how I've seen mental health crisis show up for other people.
Mm,
I've seen people who turn to work and not build community. And so they feel alone, which leads to depression, which leads to suicide.
yeah.
And so one of the things that I do in my nonprofit is to create events that build community, that build friendships. And so I hope I answered the question.
Absolutely.
But that's what I would say. Sometimes isolation. I remember when I first got diagnosed, I wouldn't say no to invitations because I didn't want anybody to stop inviting me to things.
Yeah.
And then I realized I'm actually tired and I can't make this event, you know. And so it's just learning to have that healthy balance within myself. But also, like I said, learning to say no, and I have to explain myself. But how I've seen it impact other people is isolating themselves and not creating healthy community and healthy habits. Some of us are working, we grinding it out, and we don't have healthy habits. We don't exercise, we don't practice self-care, we don't get massages, we don't take a walk in the park, things that are free, bike, enjoy sunlight. These are things that we can do without having money, you know. But we definitely, I encourage people to create healthy habits on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that rolls into this, the events that you've put on from the initiatives that you created. What impact has it had on the men who attend?
Absolutely. So, Black Men Yoga, it has given some of my guys an activity to do for themselves, you know, away from their wives, away from their partners, away from their kids. It's given them a fun activity to just kind of prioritize that self-care. Black Men Yoga has done that. Men meditation and mental health. I've seen people from different backgrounds, guys, embrace over a trauma that they both shared. Um, that was probably the most beautiful thing. It happened, I think, in September, October last year. This one guy, he was a poet, and another guy. They both was trying this class for the first time, and I think one lost his aunt and one lost his grandmother. And to see these two gentlemen who did not know each other embrace, it was just a lot of love in that class, in that room. There was a lot of release. David, I partnered with him to do meditation and mental health. We do sound baths and journaling, and just to see these men, different ages, just come together in this Black Men Healing Circle and just share and be vulnerable. And even if some of the guys have only attended the event once or twice, they have left that event feeling impacted, inspired forever. And it brings me so much joy to do this work. Yes.
That's beautiful, making impact. And the word that you use, community, that is so important. I've been hearing that word. God gave me that word in like 2021, 2022. And I realized that it's not just for others, but for me to get connected as well. But community is so important. When we're isolated, our mind can play tricks on us. The self-talk, right? All of the negativity can take over, but we're better together, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you for
And to go and do the work by looking for community. I was at this event. You were there at the hotel, if you remember.
Yes.
And this girl was like, "Yeah, they don't have any yoga classes for men." And my friend Megan turned around and was like, "Derin Lindsey's over there. He does a class for men yoga." And I'm saying that to say, I hate when people say something doesn't exist. They've never even taken the time to research. So definitely care about yourself enough to see what church works for me, what organization works for me, what therapist works for me, what events are out there that can align with what I'm going through or can help me get out the house or create community. Take some time to love yourself enough to do the research to get you to a better place.
That's so good, Derin. And I'm sorry that this interview is coming.
I know.
But the last question, right? You talked about legacy, things you're doing to work towards leaving your lasting mark, your impact, your legacy, right? On earth. So looking ahead, what do you hope for Black Men's Health Incorporated, the nonprofit?
Yes.
To grow into in the coming years?
Absolutely. My goal and just to have chapters. I was going to compare it to an organization, but I won't do that because I don't think 100 Black men do anything. But anyway, my goal is to have chapters in New York, in Chicago, in Atlanta, in Houston, where we can do have Black men getting healed all over. I used to think that graphic design was my passion and my calling, but I'm now realizing that it was a stepping stone to create the content that I'm making for Black men's health, to make sure that it's eye-catchy, to make sure that it's fresh, to make sure that it represents us, that it looks like us. I use pictures of real Black men and not stock images, so that it feels fresh and real. But my ultimate goal, Edge, is to create luxury wellness center slash gym chain. It does not exist. There are no black owned gym chains. There are black people that have bought other gyms, but there's not a black luxury gym chain, and that is my legacy. I would love to see that in several states throughout the U.S. And the goal is that we won't only have the state of the art gym, but we will also have blood pressure machines in there. We would have a lot of wellness features in this gym to make black men comfortable enough to see healthcare providers, experience teletherapy,
Right.
and just a wellness gym. So not just a standardized gym, but also a place for men to get well that features a juice bar that has vegan options and things of that nature. So that's my baby. That's my passion. That's the future.
That's beautiful. Creating spaces because it is the truth that black men, you started this campaign, black men need to go to the doctor, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So you and your passion, taking a challenge and turning it into triumph and touching others, has been so inspirational. Derin, I want to thank you so
Dude.
much for coming on and bringing awareness to your brand, your baby, for Black Men's Health Incorporated. It is a nonprofit. I want you to follow Derin at Derin.Lindsey. You can also follow For Black Men, no T, sorry about that. And then For Black Men Pray. And all of his hubs can be found on DerinLindsey.com.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. See you later, Derin.
Take care.
So that was Derin Lindsey. So amazing. I hope you all feel inspired every time Derin speaks something, and I'm coming into agreement with what he's trying to do, wants to do, his legacy. Every time he speaks something, he births it and he comes forth. So y'all heard it here first. I'm believing with him and I'm excited for him. So next up is Vintage James. So unfortunately the schedules didn't align, but nevertheless, Vintage James and I did a very inspiring interview together where we talked about all things music, fashion, but also mental health, wellness. So let's tap into what he has to say. Y'all, I am so excited to have such a special guest here today. I've been knowing this guy as he's evolved through the times for a while. We knew him as James Mook, now as Vintage James. So I am really happy to have him here today. And we are in the space where we're going to talk about the mental health mixer led by this creative right here in a bit. But listen, we're going to talk about the mental health mixer. You need to be here. It's happening tonight, Tuesday, May 20th. Gotta be here. Gotta be in the space. Welcome, James.
Wow, look at you with your pre-recording. I like that. I like that.
Thank
I
you. How
think
you
that takes
feeling?
talent.
No, you're the real talent.
Nah, nah,
You're the real talent.
nah.
He's being so modest, y'all. But how you feeling today?
Oh, I'm blessed.
That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
am blessed. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I've been wanting to collab with this creative here.
Oh,
So, as you heard in his bio, he's accomplished so many things. But without further ado, let's hop in and let's get to know him even the more. So, James, like I said, you are a multifaceted serial entrepreneur, creative. I mean, everything, fashion, music, you name it, James has done it or has been engaged in it. Vintage James. So yeah, you're known as a creative director, fashion creator, music consultant, and author. How did your creative journey start?
um, but first and foremost, I don't want to disrespect like fashion design people. So I'm not a fashion designer. We just create merchandise for Vintage House, and it does really well. So, we'll take kudos to that, but I'm not a fashion designer
Okay,
at
okay.
all. At all. Shouts out to all the real fashion designers out
I
there.
love the humility.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we try to do good.
Yeah.
But you said what inspires the creative
Yeah.
muse?
How did your creative journey begin?
Um, Honestly, I think since probably since college.
Okay.
I think college is when I realized that I don't like school. Like it wasn't made for me. I would first say like, school just never really been my thing.
And you weren't one who tried to tough it out. You realized it and you did
Yes,
something about
yes. When I
it.
got a yes, sitting in class with my mind on everything but class. Thinking of ideas of doing all kind of other things, and that's when I became like the college DJ.
Nice.
Um which kept me out late at night, of course. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to class. It just never really was my thing, and I think during those times, I really put music first,
Hmm.
and then it went from DJing to writing to
Mm.
um, just anything consulting with music, and
Wow.
I think that's where all the other creative ideas kind of came in at.
So you've always loved music some type of way.
Yeah, of course,
Nice.
definitely since a
Nice.
kid. Yes, always.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that you've done like major things. Your name was Major Mook at one point,
It
right?
was. It was major because the company, as y'all know, as Vintage House, it used to be We Major,
Uh-huh.
and that was my company that was affiliated with the record labels that we worked with: Atlantic Records, Def Jam, Asylum. That was not even nowhere near still here no
Wow.
more. But yeah, that was the We Major was the brand, so it was like it was Major Mook, and we transitioned to as we get older, a little more vintage,
A little
a little
vintage.
more, yeah, so we just changed the whole company up. Yeah.
Nice. Fast forwarding to today. So, what inspired Vintage House and how does it reflect your personal style or mission?
I think everything I do or everything I try to deliver to the universe. I think it starts with me first. I'm a big advocate of people don't buy into products; they buy into the person that's
Wow.
selling the product.
Yeah.
So I think that anything I try to put in front of a consumer, they know that well if he's using it, then it must be some kind of a quality because
Nice.
of what we know of James. He tries his best to be of quality.
Yeah.
So I try to make every creative idea we come up with, whether it's a hat or a shirt
Yeah.
or the mental mixer
Yeah.
or the nightlife, social
Yeah.
life, we try to make sure that the consumer knows exactly what they're getting.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So you kind of buy into yourself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you buy into yourself.
And one thing I've always like admired about you, the events that you curate. Like I've been to many of your events and they're always top tier. They're
Oh, thank
always
you.
consistent.
Thank you.
And I love to hear because when I think of you, I think of like top tier, high class, luxury, right?
Right.
And you create those spaces for people, right?
Right.
From I mean, anybody you can appeal to and create a space for them. So I kudos to you for that,
Thank you. Thank you.
for sure. So you cross over so many different lanes, right? And you wear a lot of hats, just like the swaggy hat that you have on right now. You wear a lot of hats.
Right.
So I want to know, how do you stay grounded in your creative identity while wearing so many hats?
I think the answer to that is it's pretty easy for me to answer due to I feel like well not I feel like I've identified myself some time ago that I'm just a maitre d' to the world.
Mm.
Um, yeah, hospitality is just everything. It's just
Yeah.
my core is hospitality.
Yeah.
So those things just come natural. Like as we were setting up here, I was like, hey, I can start setting up for tomorrow. And so we just got to work like right away. Like so it's just in the DNA to just um, try to curate, just try to curate. Like that's just
Yeah.
in me. Hospitality is everything. My 9 to 5 job, factory music, back to the lounges, it's always under the same umbrella, which is hospitality. So
Wow.
And if anyone's into hospitality, you know that's one field that you got way more than one hat. You know, like you're gonna wear a million hats in hospitality.
Yeah.
So it's just in the DNA to wear those hats.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. It's in your blood. It's
Yeah.
natural for you too.
Yeah, totally.
So I want to shift a little bit, right? Your work has strong emotional and cultural pulses to it. I look at you as a storyteller. Like, even the events you curate, it's telling a story, right? Or the mental health mixers that you come up with, or even like the shirts. I mean, at one point in time, you had hats, shirts, all types of things and items. It's all telling a story.
Right.
So you're a storyteller. How important is storytelling and human connection in the experiences you create?
I think human connection is everything. I think the energy. Well, first and foremost, I think the right human connection, the right energy. You have to know your consumer base. You got to know your target base. And I think once I captured who my target base is, I'm able to tell that story because I feel like we're all telling the same story at that point.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a book that they're familiar with, and they will read it. You know, it's not like a sci-fi if they're into drama. You know what I'm saying? It's like I know my target base. I know what they want. I know exactly how they feel, and you know, this is I'm just gonna shepherd them.
Nice.
You know, that's all I'm gonna do. And if the other people want to come into our universe, then they can. But my goal is just to keep, you know, our people that's in our community happy, you know, in our culture.
I love it. I love it. That sounds like a person who knows his craft in and out and knows how to execute it well, right? I know if you've ever experienced this guy's events, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So, and then you mentioned book, right? We're gonna mention his book.
Oh,
He's an
yeah.
author as well. You heard it in the bio. We're gonna talk about his book in a moment. So,
Yeah, I threw that cheap plug in there. That was
You
perfect.
did.
And I ain't even mean to
You
do
did.
it. Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. That was perfect.
it was so good.
I know, right?
Okay, so what inspired you? Let's talk about this space again. You want to be here tonight, all right, for the mental health mixer. And listen, if you're listening live or you're looking at it later, the mental health mixer is done pretty often. You can follow him for more details, and I'll have his information at the bottom of the screen. But let's talk about the mental health mixer. What inspired you to create it? And what makes it different from traditional conversations around wellness?
I promise you, every single thing that I create comes from random sitting on the porch at home.
What?
Like having some orange juice, like chilling, you know.
Fresh squeezed orange
yes, with
juice.
something else, of course. And like just thinking of cool things and then like saying, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then literally get on the phone and call the team, whether it's Raquel, Antoine, like, and be like, hey, how, pitch it to them and let them handcraft it themselves, and then we give it to the world. Like the mixer is, the mixer was started right after COVID, you know.
So it's been around that long.
Yes, so it was one of those like, yeah, we used to do it at the space on St. Charles Street.
Nice.
It was a co-working spot that Miss Tiana had before she departed to Atlanta. But it was just one of those events like, yo, we can't really go out, we can't really club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got the clubhouse area on the phone, we talking this and
Yeah,
that. Yeah, and it was like,
Clubhouse, I forgot
yeah, and it was
about
like, we
that.
need some spaces to really talk, you know, people really going through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just the idea like, yo, I'm just gonna text some like-minded people like myself, some DJs, some bartenders, some fly cats, some pretty girls, you know, who normally be out, and we just gonna kind of just, you know, meet up and just build it out, have some conversation.
Wow.
And then I'll come up with a couple of topics, and it just kind of went from there, you know, and we built it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's super dope.
The one thing I love about creatives, and we can all be creative in different ways, but I love that it just starts with one idea.
Oh yeah,
one
definitely.
thought.
Yeah, it's yeah, any from clothing to book, like, yeah, I know we're gonna talk about the book, but that's another one,
Yeah.
just random thoughts.
Well, let's talk about the
Like,
book
hey,
now. You want to talk about
oh,
it?
whatever. No, no, we follow
Let's
whatever.
hop into it. So, I purchased the book.
You did. Oh,
I
you
did. You
did.
remember I was
Yes.
posting it on
You
Instagram?
did. You did.
And like I was like, wait a minute. Like this book is so fire.
Oh, wow.
Like I
Appreciate
needed
that.
it. It's like
Appreciate
the you have your topic and then you go into like a like an explanation or a principle that you learn from the topic.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm so mad I don't have it right now, but it's on the screen. That
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
sure you'll
see.
do all kind of poom poom. There you go. Yeah.
So,
Amazon.
like, let's talk about the book.
Okay.
How was the book birthed? Because there are a lot of themes of mental health laced all through the book. So.
Yeah, another COVID baby. The recording studio that I owned in during that time, we had to shut it down, of course, because of COVID.
Yeah.
Just financial reasons. It makes sense because with COVID microphones, you can't record.
Yeah,
So it was just a bad situation. So once again, the team hit me up like, yo, man, we always talk about the music book. You need to write the music book. Write the music book. I was like, all right, like not like no tell-all or nothing, but just like some industry tips and things like that. But I was just in the house every day, growing a beard, no haircut, just that COVID living. And I said, okay, I'm gonna start on a book. So I've always, throughout my journey in life, I like within the conversation that we have, if you say something that kind of resonates with me, I would just type it in my notes, like a quote or something. So I'm going through all my notes on my phone, and I just have like a zillion quotes over the time. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do a music book no more. I think I'm gonna decode all these quotes in my phone and write what I think they mean to me, and do the parallel of my personal life with these quotes. Because somebody else may see these same quotes and go through these same challenges. And once again, on that porch, we just start typing out, and then I call the team like, hey, you know, let's get the proper people that we need to, you know, do these rough drafts and finalize it, and let's get it out during COVID. It was beautiful. It worked out.
See, the porch is your spot. Like,
yeah,
by all
exactly.
means, you got to protect that space. That is your
man.
space for creating.
Hey, it really happens like that every time.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. All right, so again, I want to give him kudos, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Recently, for the Super Bowl that was here in New Orleans,
nice,
2025, this guy, first and foremost, I've learned he loves the Eagles.
Yes.
The Eagles were his client.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I know
Yes.
you, I want to just drop that on you. Just talk about that for a moment before we go to the next question.
That's just the universe, how, you know, I always feel like I'm on God's like favorite list.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was just another example, like really, like,
Yes.
you know,
Like,
outside
how
of the Super
perfect.
Bowl team being a client, it happens to be your favorite team too.
Right.
So that was really good. That was cool. It was a real humbling experience. They sent us some Super Bowl rings like a month ago. So yeah, it's real humbling. But it was a real good experience too. Corporate clients are always good to work with. You know, you build those relationships. So, you know, hopefully we get another NFL team, you know.
Come on.
Yeah.
Speak it
Definitely.
into existence. All right, so in this creative world, this creative space that you obviously thrive in, but it can also get intense, right?
Definitely.
How do you protect your own mental health in high demand spaces?
I think what helps me out is in the curating world, especially hospitality world, I think my strongest talent my strong, my biggest strength is troubleshooting in the high tense parts.
Okay.
So I said this, I don't really have those moments because those are the moments that I flourish the most, I think. Like when the other teammate is like, well, hey, go take 5. Or this, like that's kind of when I flourish in the troubleshooting parts of doing what we do. Yeah, I will stay in the game until the buzzer go off, and I would decompress once I get home with a couple of my personal favorites. I would decompress then and figure it out then. But in the midst of it, I think prime time, the troubleshooting intense, everybody's running around with their head chopped off. It's overwhelming, anxieties at all time high. I think that's kind of when I be like, okay, showtime. Like it's my time now. Yeah.
That's awesome that you thrive in high energy situations.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's why you're the quarterback, but no, that's why you're the coach.
I just have to be on the team. Yeah, I just want to be on the
Again,
team.
humility.
I run my route, because I feel like everyone runs their route and everyone does what they do on the team, then we win.
Nice. Nice. I think the last question I have for you, and I'm so sad that this conversation is coming to an end because it's so good.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah,
It's so good.
Right? Yes.
But again, the mental health mixer is here.
Tonight.
What's the
Yes.
address here?
4417 Bienville.
Okay.
Also, another cheap plug is also Mash It Out. For those that you want to Google Mash It Out, it's on Instagram, MASHITOUT. It's a rage room, so if you want to come mash it out, get some of that energy out of your system, this is where we at. But we're here tonight, 7 o'clock, the Mental Mixer. It's just a room full of like-minded people. We just sit around. I kind of moderate it, come up with a topic. I throw it out there, but trust me, the whole room take it and they run with it, and I just kind of get to sit back and. You came to season 1.
I did.
And it was and you
so
spoke
good.
a lot.
I did
good.
Speak a lot. I had to tell myself, be
Yeah,
quiet,
that's
girl.
the best part of the whole thing. When people text next, they like, I can't believe I was talking that much. I'm like, see, you never know, And it's just building these safe spaces for us, people like yourself, curator, entrepreneur, just a creative director, like. I'm sure you're so used to sitting on the other side of the talking that no one sit on the side of you to hear you talk.
Absolutely. And like you said, when I came in this space, I couldn't believe that I processed so much because I was coming in here with a hat of a counselor, but I was like, this is good. I get to talk and I get to share
definitely.
too.
Yeah, I mean, the cliche way to put it is where the strong people come for the strong people. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, it's for us that solve problems all day that we need that, Kind of gets to go back to your other question about how do you do in those intense moments, like the mental mixer, that what clears my slate.
Yeah.
It kind of gives me to recharge, be refreshed, anxiety go back down and start back over. Things like the mental mixer.
So you turn into the moderator for everybody in these circles.
Yeah. Hospitality, like we say, maitre d' to the world.
So what do you hope people walk away with after attending one of your mixers or engaging with your work as a whole? However you want to flow with that.
Before it's the mixer, just walk away knowing that you're not alone. Walk away knowing that it don't matter how cool a shirt look or the new hair or whatever. Just know that everyone has some kind of, I don't use the word dark spot, but some kind of mental situation that they're going through in the moment. Everyone, from the coolest kid to the prettiest girl to the richest guy to the world, everyone has something, and I try to put those people in the room that when they talk, you would like, from Instagram, I wouldn't have never thought that about that person,
Right.
Like that's the goal, for you to walk away knowing that you're just not in it alone. One of my close friends passed away in 2020 of suicide. one of the coolest people I knew, you know, but by us not peeling back layers, knowing what was really deep inside, you just
Yeah.
never know.
You don't.
So I definitely try my best to just let people know that, trust me, we all going through it. You know,
Absolutely.
and we need each other's voices, if anything.
Absolutely. No, that is so good. Knowing that we aren't alone, y'all. So I love what you said that everybody's going through something.
Yes.
I work in the realm of recovery. I am a licensed professional counselor, but I work in the realm of recovery. And the more I help people recover, I'm like, this information isn't just for people in recovery. Everybody's recovering from something.
Yes, it's definitely universal. Yes.
Everybody's going through something.
Totally.
And what's important is community.
Yes.
That helps you to feel less alone.
Yes.
Like
totally.
knowing somebody else understands.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of rooms and spaces like these.
Yes.
One person will say something,
Yes.
and then somebody else will be like, me
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And then the conversation just bounces back and forth.
Yes.
And sometimes we
I had to get the clicker out.
topic,
I had to get the
right?
clicker out. Like, all right, next
Right,
subject.
have to
next
roll and reel people back
I love
in.
it. I love it.
But essentially, it's community, and people leave these spaces feeling hopeful,
Yes.
knowing I'm not by myself.
Yes.
And James mentioned something so important. I want to touch down on it. Suicide, right? Oftentimes, this is cliche, but it's oftentimes you're going through a lot of things. You feel like you're by yourself. You feel like you're alone. You feel like you can't handle it, or it'll never get better. But I want to encourage you, if you have thoughts of suicide, you've ever contemplated it, maybe you're thinking about it now, maybe you have a plan, I'm going to put some resources up.
Yes.
You can dial the 988 hotline.
Yes.
Just dial 988. It's 24/7. It's free. It's confidential. Nobody will judge you. But you won't feel alone, okay? You won't feel alone. You can also text 988. I think it's talk to 988. Or you can go online, Google 988. The website will come up and you can chat with them. There's so many different ways to engage with help, right? But you're not alone. The cure for feeling alone is connection, community. This is one way you can get connection and community.
Yes,
in
totally.
spaces like these.
Totally. There, yes, and it's always on a lighter side of the topic.
Yeah.
It's still in the realm of a social light, get out, let your hair down, happy hour type of event, because you just said in the setup, you was like, I just seen somebody across the street. Who did you say you saw? Was it Raquel? Somebody said you saw.
Yeah. When I was exercising, I saw Raquel.
So so many people meet here and exchange numbers, and I see them together out places,
Absolutely.
and it's like, oh wow, and I'm like, yeah, we met at the mixer, and so
Absolutely.
once again, the like-minded people,
Yes.
you know, y'all come out, y'all build.
Networking.
I'm talking, you know.
Community.
Yeah, and capital comes from it too. You never know. Y'all might get together and create something, and you know, and give it to the world.
Maybe get like this guy.
So-
we all trying to be like Vintage James when we grow up.
Never. Y'all don't want those headaches.
Well, thank you
Thank you
so
for coming
much.
to me. Thank you for coming to the
This
space.
was great. Again, for like-minded people, come on out to the Mental Health Mixer and stay tuned. Follow him at Vintage James, on Instagram.
Yes.
To follow, look for the Mental Health Mixer, what's going on, what he's curating.
Yeah.
He's always up to something.
You can go to Amazon and get the Major Laws Volume 1.
Yes.
The book is out. It's a self-help book. I think it's a pretty cool and fast read. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, James.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Love.
So, y'all, I think we've had a packed, beautiful interview segment. Thank you again to Derin Lindsey of For Black Men's Health Incorporated. It is now a nonprofit. Congratulations and all of the work that you're doing in the community. And then to Vintage James, that is _ well, at underscore vintage James on Instagram. I thank you both creatives for coming on and just enlightening us with your experience, your wisdom, and the things that you're doing in the community. Well, I love y'all. Thank you for watching today. The next segment will be on Saturday. I have two special guests. We're going to talk about emotional regulation. That's so important, and we'll delve more into it on that day. Okay. Well, have a great day, and thank you again for watching.